I've got a bit of a double review here. First off would be this Sculpture Comfort Microsoft or Windows Microsoft Bluetooth mouse. I'm going to use this with this, which is a Samsung 13.3-inch N900 laptop. It's kind of like in between a notebook and a netbook almost. Like it's real tiny. It's like I said, 13.3 inches. Just skinny as they come. It does have an mSATA 128 gigabyte hard drive in it, which makes it be able to be this skinny, because that's just like incredibly thin. That's amazing. If you couldn't even really fit like a full-size SSD in here, so the mSATA performs just as good. Let's see here, it's actually really quick from booting up for the most part. Like the boot speeds are just amazing with the yet again that mSATA drive. The keys are all backlit, so they're kind of cool. Let me see what else. You know, this thing has a Core i5, and then it does have Turbo Boost running off that, and it does have 1 gig of video memory, which is quite a bit for something so tiny and so small. They've done a beautiful job of getting the screen right. Like the screen is just so detailed, and it's kind of like a matte finish. The only thing that doesn't make sense to me is like this is a nice matte, and you know your fingerprints won't really show up. Yet again, this is not a touch screen, but like here, you know, your fingerprints are just all over the goddamn place. I don't know, it's same on the back side. So that's a bit of a nuisance, but not really a problem. Okay, and then for performance wise, I don't know, I've been using it quite a bit. I took off all the bloatware. Samsung just added a ton of bloatware to this thing. And for the most part, it's useless crap. So I removed all that, installed a bunch of new programs. And like right now, it's just running as quick as can be. Like there's Photomatics just launching right up in like 1 second. Let's see if we can fire up Photoshop here. This only comes with 4 gigabytes of DDR3 RAM, but you can upgrade it to 8. And this with 8 gigs of RAM would be a bit of a monster for how small it is. Yet again, it's in between a netbook and everything else. But oh, look at this. So Photoshop is ready. I just have to do the registration, and pretty damn quick considering what you can do with Photoshop and how bloated of a program it is. It's a small laptop. It's light, super light. Battery life is probably about in real world testing, I've heard it's about 6 hours, but I think they claim something like 10. But realistically, you're probably looking like 5 or 6 hours. So in the meantime, I shall crack into this mouse and pair it up with this, and this is Bluetooth. Alrighty, let's see what we get in the box with this mouse. It's a very super exciting unboxing. It just looks like your typical manual, stuff like that. And because it's Bluetooth, you might actually need the manual, because not everyone uses Bluetooth and does not know how to pair their items with Bluetooth. But that's pretty darn easy. So it does include 2 actual name brand Duracell batteries, so thank you for that. Adding the actual name brand batteries means a big difference in how long this thing's going to last. So just by looking at it, and unlike most mice, you actually have to load it from the top for the battery. So there's a little button in the back. You just click that with your fingernail and she pops open. Now we can pop the batteries in and give her a whirl on that N900X. I do believe is a model number. I'll put the links down below for the kind of laptop and also for this mouse. Okay, so I didn't need any drivers. Windows was smart enough to go and download with this little program you need, and all this does is this is for, you know, the basic setup of the mouse. You know, like when you hover over what button you want it to do, you can change the settings, and that's pretty cool. So in Windows 7, the side button here, that's for forward and back, and then I think when you click the middle, yeah, it brings up your home menu or the start menu. Ooh. Yeah, so that's about all this program really does. It feels very solid, has a nice weight to it. I don't know how this will work out for gaming. Like, it is a fairly hefty mouse, so it might work out pretty well for gaming, but for just having around the laptop, I'm sure this would be much more appealing for that. Also, this I read on here, and this little blue LED on the back, or little laser, whatever you call them these days, I guess you can use this on just about any surface, and it's still pretty responsive. I'm using it on my pants here. I imagine because this is a laptop, people are going to be using it on things like, you know, couches and... Let's see, are we still moving when I use it on the couch? Yeah, oh yeah. So you know, it'll work on pretty much any surface. The only downside to these is I think now you can only get them on Windows 8. For some reason, this one was refurbished and has Windows 7 on it. I don't know why that is. It could be the guy that first had it. Maybe he wanted Windows 7 instead of 8 or whatever, but now they only have 8 on them. My other gripe is these freaking stupid pull-out USB things. Like, you've got one USB on each side. That's a combo mic and headphone jack. And the other one is that's for the memory card, like micro SD card from your phone or whatever. And then the exact same thing on this side. And these are basically your only imports. Is that, and that has, what is that, USB 1, and then that's like a mini network. Probably needs an adapter and a mini HDMI in. And you see they just flip right back up into the notebook itself. But other than that, you have not much more than a power button exposed. Even on the back, there's nothing. So that's my only gripe, is I can see these little hinge doohickey things being problematic and possibly break. You know, for what it is and the price, you can't really go wrong. I'm gonna have to give this netbook or this notebook or whatever you want to call it, I'd probably give it about a 6 or 7 out of 10. I like it. So thank you for watching my review of the Microsoft Sculpt Comfort Mouse and the Samsung N900X.